Welcome to part 3 of this 3-part series digging into the Voidplace universe. In the first video, we checked out the big update to Void Mall, the most popular map in the series, as well as its new counterpart, Nowhere Mall. In the second video, we sat down with the creator himself and had a really good conversation, learning so much about just the series and about him. But now comes dessert, the special treat at the end of this all. I had the wonderful privilege to sit down with the Librarian to talk about this series. And not just talk about Voidplaces, but talk about his interactions with the map and its community, and just learn a bit more about himself. Huge shout out to the Thunder Ghost for reaching out and putting this all together. It was a wonderful experience, and I can't wait to show you all. Enjoy. So I've been running just a small channel that often highlights creations on like the Garry's Mod Workshop, and early in that YouTubing career, I was offered to talk with the creators of Construct 13, one of the more popular maps on Garry's Mod, and ever since then I've made it a goal of mine to just sit down with as many different creators as I can, people that have made like analog horror series and ARGs, to a bunch of map developers from all corners of the globe, from Brazil like today, and over in Poland. It's been a wild ride over the past few years, and I've been very blessed to be introduced to Pink and his community. And so what I've been working on is just to create kind of like an internet checkpoint for anyone who's interested in this series. A video that covers the development journey of this Void saga, learn more from its creator and its community. And Librarian, you've been a huge proponent in getting these works of his known to a larger community, and so I thought if I ever had the chance that I would ask a couple of questions to you about YouTube and the series.
All right. I just subbed to you, by the way, because this channel looks really awesome.
Oh my god.
That's so cool to hear.
That means so much.
Yeah.
I've been a fan of yours for a while. I'm newer to Garry's Mod than some people that follow me would come to believe. I started checking out back when I was in college, back in the 2020s. I didn't really have experience beforehand, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with this series. There's like an astrophysicist who's like playing through Minecraft with no wiki, no help from no one, and just wants to like raw dog the whole experience. I kind of did that with Garry's Mod. I didn't want to look up everything about the game, all the popular stuff. I just wanted to have a pure experience that people who had learned about it earlier than I did did. So that's kind of what I have been doing, and so what I'll do is I'll start with just like a couple of like more generalized questions. That's how I usually run interviews, and then get into more of the weeds and the details. Librarian, how were you introduced to the game, and what is like those earliest memories you have of Garry's Mod?
So I think my earliest introduction to Garry's Mod was actually a cousin showed it to me on his computer all the way back in like 2008. So I was like
Wow.
13, and the map was it was RP Richland. And I don't know, it just, from there, he showed me like what you could do with it and showed me some videos. This might have been like a little bit before the Gmod Idiot Box, but that was kind of, that was the kind of thing that like Garry's Mod was known for at the time, was like, you know, ridiculous like face posing and creating all these scenes.
Right.
Oh yeah.
And, you know, as we can see, you know, today, it's a bit, I don't want to say it's a more serious medium, but I mean, you need only look at like Pink Black's whole maps and whole like saga essentially to see just how far it's come as a platform.
It's kind of a powerhouse for creation.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of that has to do with the stability of Valve and just providing the resources for so long and not like taking it down for like monetary reasons or whatever.
Yeah. And the community help each other too. It's like making maps for, I think, every Source game. It's like a journey.
You mentioned it on your channel, and then also you have videos of you being an IRL urban explorer. And has that experience in real life like influenced how you've structured and recorded your content for your channel, like choosing to record things in VR rather than regular desktop?
Maybe a little bit, but I think if anything, it's almost the other way around, where the way I've done Urbex like since starting with Garry's Mod has kind of been informed by the way I do like Gmod Explorers. I mean, I did just think in the beginning like it would be cool to try it in VR, and I guess over time that's sort of spun off into its own like standard for how things are done, at least as far as like the exploration goes. Like I actually do find I commentate more in real life as a result of Garry's mod.
Oh. Yeah, and like I think we all explore in our own ways too. Like, of course, I do some of those videos too, but like I take a more comedic route. You're very like inspirational, as well as like coming up with very fun scenarios on how you explore these things, and that's what makes this unique, and I find that cool.
And so, I mean, I personally scare like really easily. So like I've avoided I've avoided VR for a lot. Like I had a friend that forced me to play FNAF VR once. That was terrible.
Oh.
But sometimes to the point where I literally cannot continue what I'm playing. I've like just straight up alt F4 out of horror games before. But I found that like the greatest in-game experiences are the ones that find that sweet spot. That's not totally just like bone-chilling horror, but ones that aren't super bubbly or totally safe either. Something that these liminal games, I feel, the ones that are done right, possess that sweet spot. But you highlight creepy, comfy content, but what are you looking for, and how do you personally find the comfort in the creepy?
I think it's something that I've been familiar with for a long time. I mean, when I was really young, I used to go to my town's like public library, which is like this really old and like darker building, and I would just immediately go straight to like the paranormal section of the children's section and just like find all these books about real hauntings and stuff, and just like find a window to read next to in the rain. And you know, I think it's like you said. I actually am very interested in what you said a second ago about having to find that sweet spot in liminality, specifically because it and I'm sorry, I know I'm more examining what you said now, but it's really just I really like that idea that liminality allows you to be in that creepy and comfy spot where you're always on edge, but there's never quite that acute horror that will make you want to stop in the moment.
The more psychological horror, because like even some of these just like straight up backrooms games mess with like always wanting to turn your head around, but you never really see anything, but your mind makes you think you saw something. That sometimes those are even more scary, but it's never a peak. It's more of just a heightened level of awareness, I guess.
Yeah.
Right. And I think being held in that area for a while, especially if you're the one holding yourself in that area,
right.
I think that's a good place to be. And like you said, is a good like medium for people who don't necessarily want to be terrified, but like the feeling of being creeped out.
And so I guess just to add on top of that, talking about that heightened like point of the scare, a lot of horror content and the community surround them focus on that thrill of the scare, the adrenaline rush of fearing for your life. However, content creators like yourself have made that distinction. Is there anything else that people are missing when they're only seeking out the scare?
Maybe. I mean, it all comes down to personal preference, really. I mean, some people are looking for the adrenaline rush, you know, a jump scare a minute and like having their heart race. Even I like that sometimes. I don't know if you're necessarily missing anything, but there are maybe some works specifically that would benefit more from a slower pace. I mean, if just look at Pink Black's maps in particular. Those are maps that, for the most part, are like 95% exploration and feeling watched and, you know, the liminal experience, but they still have those moments of acute terror where something really horrifying is happening, usually just for a second, and not usually a physical danger. But sometimes even just knowing that those things can happen, for as rare as they are, is enough to heighten your awareness during the exploration. So even in more subtle horror, things like that have place.
Yeah.
When you have a feeling that something may be watching you, I think it's more powerful than show the thing. So that's what I try to do in my maps, and it's amazing to see the people exploring my projects, to feel what I'm supposed to, what is my purpose to make. That's awesome. Like, for real, I love that.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like, even, like, Pink, your earlier maps, like, before you had created like your own like textures and all that, the shadowy people always following you, that's been something that's been there since the beginning. And we made a distinction recently with your map Pink Place, where there is a bit more in your face moments, and you've been thinking about approaching that again. Are you making the conscious decision in certain areas, like this should be a more hidden scare, this should be right in your face, or does it just come to you in a stroke of genius in the moment, or anything like that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like when everyone play my maps, I want they to don't know what's going to happen. Okay. So sometimes I will make the map more aggressive, just to show people that I can do those type of stuff, and sometimes I will do the opposite.
Right.
A peaceful map, like with just the feeling. But you know my work. You know that I can do something that may be stalking you for real, but you never know when this will happen. So sometimes I think I will never. The only thing I think I will never do is a cheap jump scare, like something like that, because I don't like this stuff. If I make a jump scare, will be like a construction before this thing happens. Okay.
Yeah.
Something that leads into it.
Yes, and sometimes nothing will happen because I am like that. I will just
a fake out.
Yeah, like fake outs. I love do fake outs. Love it.
Those can work pretty well sometimes, yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like I feel like the jump scares. Oh yeah.
Okay.
You
go ahead. Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. All right.
You can go.
So often on your maps, I find there are those things where, because there's practically never just like a loud noise, possibly never at all. But there are many times where something will happen quickly and it's over before you can even feel it, and then you're just kind of left sitting there in silence, feeling it as like a slightly delayed reaction, and I think that's so cool.
Yeah, I love doing that because I call this type of things a filter, because I put like very specific triggers in some corner of the map that will enable certain events. What this means? This contributes to the discussion, okay? Because some people will play the map and see things, and some people will see nothing. Some people will like get events, like Librarian say, and will not see the event because it's fast. So there's so many things happens to generate discussion. That's what I am in about, to make this feels like alive in a certain way, like a place that you're not supposed to be.
Yeah. And I think you're pretty good at doing stuff like that, Pink, because like after I got done exploring it for myself, and of course I put my video out and you commented on it, I compared it to my exploration of Voidplaces. So about Voidplaces, of course me and Librarian both explored it. Librarian had like maybe 2 events happen with Jimmy, and then I had like so much going on in my playthrough, and it was like kind of nuts to see like the differences there. And I think it's cool because like it gives more replayability, but also it's like you said, it generates discussion.
This is a question that I didn't think of until we just started talking about Pink Black. How do you have people playtest your maps before you release them? Or do you kind of have the community be your playtesting?
Sometimes, yes, but my closest friends, okay? But
yes, sometimes I have playtested a couple times as well. So
not so many times. Like with Down Corridors, I sent I think 2 versions to Thunder, I think, and that's it. I myself do the playtest because I'm kind of perfectionist in a way.
I feel that.
So I can miss some stuff, but like it's my little baby, okay? And I want to surprise people, so I have to choose like real close people to show my stuff. So the playtest is majority made by me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think at one point, Pink, you had me test, like when you released, to me at least, just the test area of Down Quarters to me, to like make sure this jump pad works in VR. I'm like, okay.
Yes.
So,
Although there are like tens of thousands of maps that are hosted on like the Steam Workshop, very few end up being investigated on your channel, and in this case, even rarer, being investigated multiple times. What are you looking for, and like how much research are you doing when looking for a map to record for? And has there been something special about what Pink has done? Is there a distinction that has caused you to come back to the map multiple times?
Yeah, so basically, when I'm looking for a map, the first and biggest thing would be if there's a map that everyone's telling me I should play, then I'll put a lot of stock in that and probably do it. Then there's, often I'll check the workshop to see just what's popular now. Sometimes I'll just type in keywords like horror, scary, liminal, and just see what's popular recently. And it's getting harder and harder to find maps recently, but I'll always return to Pink Black's maps because, I've seen... They speak their own language. They're very distinct from other liminal maps. They've got their own visual style. They're one of the few that's actually telling like a story across all of them, but it's a very open to interpretation story, and I feel like we get more and more pieces of a greater whole each time. And what makes it very easy to return to Pink Black maps is that as time has gone on, and as the lore has kind of been established, a lot of things have been added and changed, and all these new connections keep getting added, and so it's like this one growing project that doesn't keep going in a linear fashion like sequels. It really is like one big explorable space where, depending on where you start, the story can play out in any number of orders, and I imagine that's got to be such a complicated thing to put together at this point, but it really is like one of the more... It's not just one of the most ambitious Garry's Mod projects, it's a really ambitious way to tell a story in general that not many things have really done, if anything.
Yeah.
And I can definitely feel that coming from the other end, where I'm trying to place things together to provide to an audience, and I made a flow chart of like how the maps are interconnected, and it looks like the scramblings of a madman. It's so crazy.
He's doing the Charlie Day.
Yeah, literally, I'm tempted to put that image in the video. Yeah. But Pink Thunder and I talked recently in our previous interview recording, and we discussed about like just online success and the ebb and flow of with the fandom, and like how he has been dealing with the challenge of the face to the system right now is Inno, and it's slowly taking
Pink's like, oh no.
Yeah, here we go again. It's taking a focus.
This girl again.
It's taking the focus from the void, this massive, expansive world, almost entirely in some places, and I can relate at least partially. I told Pink this, that like in my comment section, I'll make a random like commentary video, and there'll be comments saying, "Make video about Backroom now." But I guess my question is, do you have any kind of similar experience, and do you have any how did you navigate that, and what would you be able to tell us when perhaps there's a separation between what maybe a loud minority wants and what you want for your channel or your creations?
I'm sorry, is that for me or for Pink?
It's for you. If you've had an experience where there's been they want you to focus on a specific game or specific type of content when you want to remain more variety. I don't know if you have an experience like that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, every once in a while, I'll just throw up a video of me playing DCS, which is like a flight sim. Sometimes I'll do something that's 100% just for me. If a lot of people want me to do something, I'll do it. Obviously, Pink Black maps I'll always do. But really, the only time there's ever been cases where a lot of people want me to do something but I won't is really just with certain Minecraft mods, because a lot of Minecraft mods are very similar to each other.
That's so real, yeah.
Even if the individual mods might actually be very good of their own right, it's like, okay, I don't always want to play the broken script, but slightly to the left.
Right?
Yeah. I don't really have any such problems with Garry's Mod. Garry's Mod, I'll look at stuff all the live long. I'll look at basically whatever.
And I think just how the landscape of YouTube has changed. I still watch like long form videos like you make, and where I the popular term for it right now is the Mr. Beastification of YouTube, which I think is hilarious. Wherever there needs to be a jump cut every 3 seconds, there needs to be a new sound effect, and where the more I think like the more slow paced content appeals to maybe a more attention spanned crowd. That's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not people watching shorts every freaking day.
Right.
YouTube
Yeah.
wants me to make shorts so badly.
Yeah, it's so
You're like,
crazy.
I'm not doing that. I'm gonna do the opposite.
They just made a button, I think, like last week, for you can finally get rid of shorts in your like recommended feed. That took them years
Thank
to
you,
make.
finally.
So they're finally learning. Yeah, we touched on it just a little bit, but so much of like the eldritch horror elements draw upon the fear of the unknown, and how Pink has not just told like a linear story, but is expanding this world in a way that we learn more every time, but every time we learn more, the world gets even larger, so even more becomes unknown. Now that you've experienced and explored the void up until this point, what is your interpretation of the sun? Is it antagonistic? Like, what have you drawn the conclusion to at this point?
Oh man, that's a real difficult question. Because like I feel like I always have these ideas in my head for what's going on, like as I'm exploring, and every new bit of information I learn makes me completely rethink everything.
Right.
And that's part of what's so cool about the story, is that it is so ambiguous, and I sort of like one thing I'm still not sure about is whether like the place is like a colony, because we know that like humans have lived in this space, that we
Right.
know that like they've tried to like organize and stuff. And one thing that I've often asked in like the more recent stories is like, okay, so are these like people who are from here who have like opted to like organize those who are passing through and who have ended up there inadvertently, or is this actually just like those who have somehow ended up here organizing and building the society, and then something happens after that? It's really cool, because it almost feels like we're in some kind of like destructionless apocalypse that happened in the back rooms. It's very unique in that way. And it's cool because it's so weird and strange, but it looks like what we're experiencing while we're there is weird and strange even by the standards of this world, and we're constantly trying to see where one set of strangeness begins and the other ends.
I love that.
It's like amazing.
Yeah, and I love talking to Pink about this as well. Like, I forget, it was like 2023. Like, whenever Voidmaw was released, I originally reached out to Pink, and when we were talking, this is like the most memorable part for me, Pink. We're just walking through Voidmaw, and we're talking, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna stop you right here. I know where this is going. We're gonna have to start talking about the lore. I'll just say right now, I have no idea what the fucking sun is, and all of my questions. All right, I'm throwing them all out now. We're winging this, but he stopped me before I could get going because he knew where it was going. I love that, and then because he did so, I was able to think of different questions for it, and so that approach of being able, he's created so much without himself knowing specifically what it is. And it's just like, I've changed my view on what that damn thing in the sky is every time I play a new map. Like, perhaps it's a bit more benevolent than I originally thought. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's so funny that, like, basically the first piece of information you learn when going into these maps is that thing in the sky, it's not the sun.
Yeah.
And then in every single discussion about this game, including my own, so I wonder what that sun's up to.
How you doing, buddy?
It's so good.
And I love that because I am a big fan of Half-Life. Now, I will say one thing. Think about the sun like G-Man. It's not the same purpose, okay, but like the mystery behind. Like, who is this guy? In my case, who is this thing? me being a fan of Half-Life and be haunted by those questions, like for the most time of my life, I'm like, yeah, I will do the same thing, but with the sun. So that's why I say, even I don't know, and I love the discussions, I love the interpretations, and I just read the things, I watched all the videos about the Void Place, and I think this discussion, it's amazing. I like the mystery, or the open thing.
And I just say that I really love that, because you've done that with the sun, and in a way you've sort of done it with Inno as well, where you kind of have this thing where you almost depersonify characters, where you make it so that these characters, like, their presence is always felt, but it's very rare for you to actually see figures. Like with Inno, I mean, in the update for the Void Maw, you know, you can see something that represents Inno, and like in, you know, to an extent, the presence is spelt, like, the presence is spelt everywhere, but in that map in particular, you know, she presents to you as like portraits on the wall or as cardboard cutouts, and in a way it's almost like she is the space but also could be a being, because, you know, there's the story with like her and this cat in the more recent map, and it's really cool. You have a way of like making these characters feel like they're present and characters in a story even without actually directly encountering them.
But anyways, what I was gonna say is, like, I don't know if Librarian knows, but in the Void Maw update, you can encounter Inno. It's just you just so happen to miss her.
I know that she can be seen like looking down at you during your run out of the place, which is cool.
Yeah.
Because some people pointed that out, and it's like this monstrous, just like pair of like. I know there's like a model and stuff, but just like the pair of eyes like staring at you from a window. That's really cool. I think there's a point where, or no, you know what? I think on the more recent map, I forget, what was the name of the one where it had like the jump pads?
The
down corridors.
Yeah, down corridors. I thought I saw her like down a pair of doors at one point, but I think I no-clipped later on, and I think it's actually like, is it a cat there? Or is it her?
I think it's a cat from what I'm remembering.
That's not a cat.
I remember it's not.
That's not.
It's like,
freaking
that's
cat.
not the sun.
That's not the sun, that's the cat.
Every time, that's not the thing. No, you know, it's not in down corridors, but the quotes cat is. So I think you saw the cat.
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Pink, you've done that twice now. I asked about the cat and you went, you think that's a cat's deer. Cats don't do that. I'm like, no.
The cats don't do that.
Sorry. Maintain the mystery, you know.
Right. But
Cat was sitting in that door from Voices of the Void.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So with Void Mode that we talked about, that map is a miracle to me, because it's the first time that I do a map like in a bigger scale, and out of nowhere I made Void Mode.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know how I made that map, by the way.
It just
Like,
came
for
out.
real. Yeah. And what the Librarian say about the whole thing that you feel the character there. The whole Void Mode vibe is because of her. Like, it's stuck with her.
Mm-hmm.
The whole place feels like her. So if I manage to deliver, this feeling, I think I'm happy about that, because that's what I am about with Void Mode. If you feel like she's everywhere, I in quotes win. Because that's the feeling I want to that place feel like.
And like when me and my buddies played the update to Void Maw, because we remembered what you talked about when it was first uploaded, talking about dealing with optimization and having to put like boarding up some areas, otherwise the map wouldn't work. So when we saw the updated version, it felt like almost playing a brand new map again, because we were just stunned at how did you end up making this map feel so much more alive.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's magic. It's Void magic.
It's magic, Joel.
Oh my god, yeah. The optimization part, it's it's a pain. Like Void Mode, the first version, it's so much open. Like I think you can go to the central area where is the statue, to the cafeteria, like in the same room.
Yeah, it was like a straight shot to it.
A straight shot, and I have to cut that because some people will get like 10 FPS in the middle of Void Mall, and I like sometimes my FPS drops down in that area too, and be like, yeah, I have to optimize this. I have to cut like the map in two
Yeah.
and made like new routes.
Yeah.
But be careful not to damage the feeling of the place. So I don't know. It's up to you guys. I like the update Void Mall thing, and I still don't know how I make that. By the way,
I think it brought more life into it, and that definitely made it like really cool to go through again. A privilege as well. I think you did a really great job, and it was also cool that like have you go to the Voidplaces Discord and go like, all right guys, submit some art, we're gonna make this a community effort, and there's just posters from everybody, and I think that's cool.
that's a highlight of the community for me. I love that.
Underghost, I have to say, I always love that like chills moment where like the map starts, because you always have your beginning area where you're just kind of like feeling things out, and then there's always that like intro moment where you get some like crazy view and you start to see what the map is all about.
Yeah.
And that song starts playing, and that's always an amazing moment because it's so distant and spooky, and it's almost like when you hear a song in a dream.
Yeah. I feel like it was a really cool thing to get to work on the soundtrack for Pink. Down Corridors was mainly done by Karuka and Pink himself, but I have made the other stuff. But it was really cool to be able to work on this type of thing because, like, when I was working on the main theme, as you call it, is called Your New Sun, is what the song's called. When I was working on that with Pink, and I think I already told Wonkler, I took a little bit of inspiration from one of my older songs I made for something else, just as like the bass note melody. And I showed it to Pink. He's like, okay, it sounds nice, but let's slow it down. And after like 5 or 8 or so revisions, we have what we have now. And like the funny thing is, it was originally meant for a art gallery map, but then of course Pink changed how and where he wanted it, and it ended up just becoming the theme song. Cool to see that.
Yes, the art gallery map becomes White Complex.
Yeah, it became White Complex.
Yes, that's why you see Phillips Jeffries in the White Complex, by the way, because it was supposed to be art gallery, so I have to like differentiate the Liminal gallery because I love those maps.
Yeah, those are great.
And they're amazing. And the song that Thunder made for the art gallery section became the main theme of Voidplace. Like, this is the way that I work. I think I already tell this to Wonkler.
Mm-hmm.
I never have like a real plan. I do aesthetics first, then I start to put things together. And when I see it, I have a big project in my hand. So one thing was supposed to be used in a way and ended up like be using in other ways. And this happens like every time in the video production. Every time. So that's why sometimes I say that even I don't know what my final project will be look like.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do aesthetics first. I just will say for the Librarian right now, I think Voidplace exists because of him. You guys know that? You guys don't know that, right? Because like I said to Wonker, I made so many maps, but I never posted the maps. And when I see Librarian made an exploration video in the pandemic era, I see he exploring a liminal space map, and I was making for me maps like that. I felt like why I not post these things? Then I post Old Space, aiming in the Librarian already. So some time pass and I be like, I will make it bigger and better. And then Voidplaces after that is just magical because I admire the Librarian work, and when I see my maps there, oh my god, I was like happy like hell. I was jumping around, and I am a pretty chill guy. But those things made my day, because it's a guy that I admire, because I like the commentaries, I like the chill vibe, and I have to say a thank you to Librarian. I don't know if your Librarian knows that tiny history that I tell you right now.
I did not know that.
But
honestly,
now
I've always
you
felt
know.
like I wasn't doing these maps justice because I felt like I wasn't really understanding them. But it's but no, actually, when I did Voidplaces and Void Mall, I think I actually recorded. This was my mistake. I think I actually recorded Void Mall first, but like Voidplaces came out first.
Yeah.
I did both of those like back to back, like one day after the other. And the reason I did those, I think they might have been out for a little while at that point, was somebody was suggesting them. You know, they were in the suggestions, and I was like, okay, more liminal space maps. I'll check them out at some point. And then I went to look more closely, and somebody said it's the guy who made Void Spaces and Old Spaces, and I was like, what? And I downloaded both of them. And I did them
That's that guy.
Yeah.
I need this now.
Oh my, that's fucking awesome. Oh, that's so cute. I love it.
And like it meant a lot to me as well, like when you played Null Spaces, because I'm like, I know it's Vertigo, I know it's a game he's probably never freaking heard of, but like, because I was still learning map development in general, and when you played that, and my friend, I think it was Nicole actually, I think she goes by Noelle now, but she messaged me, she's like, Librarian played your map! I was like, whoa!
Oh yeah,
so
no, I
cool
bought
that
it.
you
'Cause-
downloaded a game to play it, even though it was like a $20-$30 game.
Yeah, I mean, because I always like I don't have a problem doing something because like I know like if I make a video on something like it's gonna pay for itself, but like
Yeah.
you know specifically I put it off for a while because there was that barrier, and then eventually I was
Yeah, I
like,
get
all right,
you.
you know what, this game is like a whole big VR environment. I'm always like annoyed by how like restrictive the environments I'm usually in are, just because like it's pinned down by Garry's mod. I mean, that's why I always say like the pink black maps, they don't feel like Garry's mod. They feel like they feel like their own game almost.
They're very custom, yeah.
Yeah, and they like it's got none of those standard Half-Life assets, so whenever I'm in there, it doesn't feel like I'm playing Garry's mod. It feels like its own game. And so I was fine with like downloading Vertigo for that. And I felt it, it was cool having that like VR functionality, but I really appreciate especially hearing earlier that you talked about like testing the jump pads for VR.
Yeah.
Like I appreciate that these maps, because it's something I never even thought about, that these maps do actually like they don't fight you at all in VR. It just works, and I've never had to think about it until now.
Yeah. I'm trying to do the same with mine, because as you know, like Null Spaces I'm remaking for Gmod, but since there's already a Null Spaces on the workshop, I'm renaming it, so it's becoming Nyx Spaces instead. But I'm remaking it for Gmod. Of course, I'm making my own assets. The music will all be by me and stuff like that. And I'm trying to make it also feel like a really complete and whole experience. But because I also own a VR headset, I have the big screen beyond too. I'm gonna make sure that the map works in VR.
Nice.
Clip those
I
stairs.
appreciate that. Yeah, clip the stairs.
The stairs.
I 100% will. I 100% will. I've made a joke about that in some of my videos. Like, I was walking up, I don't remember what map it was, but I was walking up the stairs and like, all right, who wants to make a bet Librarian's going to complain about that? I think it was Titus's map. Oh, wait, Trenung. Yeah, it's a Voidplaces fan map. It looks really good, but like I was going up the stairs and like, that's not clipped. But it was funny.
Clip those stairs.
I was gonna make a video at some point because I do have a few Hammer projects like in the works, and what I really want to do is make a video just like on the process of like building stuff out in Hammer, so that all of you can just yell at me in the comments like, no, every last thing is wrong.
There's some things like I think
Oh my
Pink's friend Rudy. I was trying to like first get a skybox together, and like Rudy was just like, "You're a freaking moron," and I'm like,
Oh,
"Okay."
God. Oh, if you made a video like making a map in Hammer, like I don't know if your public will like it, but I will fucking love it.
It's like I will treasure that.
Oh my god.
Okay, consider it done. It'll happen at some point.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Because like to also help me get more used to Hammer, I've also been, because I loved Midgard, that Half-Life 2 custom map. To help me get more used to Hammer and learn new things, I've been spending the time porting it to Garry's mod, and so far I have like 3 parts of it, and it works great. And there's some things that I'm fixing up, like the stupid gas part. I'm gonna make that like less frustrating.
Yeah, I mean, if you could get permission from the creator to like actually upload, that would be like awesome. And even just like as a project, like
yeah,
that's just a really cool thing to do. Is that port? I mean, I know somebody, I think like For Us Obscurum has been like ported to Garry's mod and stuff.
Yeah, that one's been ported as well. I tried it in VR. I need to publish that video, but it works really well, and it's fun and spooky.
Nice.
But it's cool.
I just wanted to say on top of what Pink said about Voidplace existing because of you. I've talked with so many creators now where it'll just come up naturally. Yeah, when the Librarian played my map, I knew I had made it. Is like their exact words. I've heard that sentence so many times now, and every time I can just hear the smile on their face because they're just so proud that it happened. So I can just say that's not a one-off thing. Like the creator of GM On Guard and the creator of GM Flux, they've both said that without me even asking, just saying like, yeah, when the Librarian made that video, it was the happiest I've been in a while. So it's been you leave a wake of happiness. It's pretty awesome.
That is insane to hear.
It's cool to like just see someone like not only big but also like so humble and very like commentary open about these things, and it helps them gain confidence. It helps them like learn new things. Like again, clipping.
People even say I'm the most humble.
He's very the humblest candle in the world, and it's all around just like it's good criticism to learn stuff like that. Like, hey, that's something that can frustrate somebody. Like maybe kind of either dial it back a bit or like change it a little bit or something. But it's good to get like second opinions on this.
Librarian's kind of the pillar of the community, by the way. So every time a creator see a project in his channel, it's like a happy moment. It's a jumpy body, something like that. It's always amazing. Always.
So I always end interviews the same way for everyone, with a final question. So you've been providing the internet with creepy, comfy content for years now. What has been your intention for your audience to take away from your content? Has the impact that you see what you seek to leave on people? Like, what is that final thing that they remember when they're done watching your channel?
I think a lot of people have gotten the right thing away from it, and I've even seen people since the beginning say that creepy and comfy has kind of put into words like what a lot of people have already been aware of, but it just wasn't a thing that was discussed. I mean, even look at liminal spaces in general. It's the backrooms sort of popularized the ideas and these like very specific feelings that people get from places like this, and just kind of got people talking about it and understanding it and putting it into words. But it's things people always felt, and there's, I think, a sense of community and finally being able to talk about something that people would say, like people would just assume that other people would think that they were crazy. And I think the goal here has always been like that more slower paced, like sort of fun in horror, rather than the more like intentionally unpleasant feelings. And I think a lot of people have gotten that. I think and that's what I want to do more of. Like I said, I won't do shorts. Although we have, I will say we have made a short, like literally a short film that should be coming sometime in the near future. Literally like 5 to 10 minutes long.
Yes.
And it's not anything crazy. It's not anything like super scary or anything. It's just one of those things that you can put on, and it's just like it's creepy and comfy.
That's nice.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. So I want to thank everyone for taking the time out to do this. This is super awesome.
Yeah, it's been absolutely cool to like just sit and talk about this kind of stuff. Because like, again, it's like I love like Wonkler, your stuff is very creative, and it's cool to like see you talk about these things. Pink, you're very creative with your work, and it's cool to see you put all these things together. And of course, Librarian himself, it's like the stuff he makes is very inspirational, but also like very, of course, creepy and comfy and calming. And it's very fun to watch no matter what he puts out. And I think my first video from him was the 3 scary Gmod maps in VR. It was the first time he played like actual horror maps in VR. That was my first video from him because YouTube randomly put it on my page. I'm like, that looks interesting, and then I was like, this guy's cool. So
I have to say, Thunder Ghost, you're kind of the. Actually, you have a knack for this, and also Noelle. Is she going by Noelle now?
Yeah, she goes by Noelle now. She got her name changed.
Okay. Yeah, you and Noelle have this weird tendency where you're like the C-3PO of like this whole community, where you just kind of show up everywhere. Where it's like I'll get involved with like new creators and stuff, and find you or her already there in like a major role.
You're like, what the frick is going on here?
I remember when the Pink Black server, when I was invited there, and I find out Noelle was like a community manager. And, like,
you're like, huh?
Plot twist. She made the server.
Yeah, she got the server created. With Pink.
She made this thing. She made. And she's like, oh, I made a server for Voidplaces. Here. And I was like, what? How?
To how and why?
Why?
Wonkler, I'm definitely going to be checking out your channel because
Oh my
there's
God.
like there's a whole lot of good stuff here. I've been scrolling down like this entire time.
Oh no.
He's got quite the catalog.
But I mean, I'm super excited to see what you do with that short film. I mean, I've technically made something like that, but I want to see how it's really done. See the master at work, and maybe learn from it. And Pink was a big inspiration for that, but I've already told him that.
Pink should be a big inspiration for anything.
This is so true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Honestly, I honestly can't believe how like deep these maps have gotten.
Oh, you guys will melt my heart now. Thank you.
It's weird. Like Voidmaw is, as amazing as they all are, I think like Voidmaw probably remains my favorite. And it's because it's like you spend all your time trying to like escape a liminal space. That's always the thing, is you're trying to find a way out of this like huge and crazy place. And then like Voidmaw is the only liminal space map that makes you feel bad for leaving it.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, look what you did. You made her cry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Go
so
think
good.
about what you've done.
Hell yes. Sorry. I love this. Oh, I love this so much.
It's so funny.
And the funny thing, I was afraid that people will hate Eno. And I almost did not post Voidmaw because of that.
Yeah.
And she became like the face of the thing. And everyone, oh my god, Voidmaw, Eno, and things. That's crazy. Like, it's like a butterfly effect. Imagine if I do not put her there. Or that I made like Voidmaw be different in a way, like dark, like more a standard liminal map.
Yeah.
And I love that I pass through this fear and release it, because I think like V.O.I.D is really a highlight of the series. I can't deny it.
But yeah.
Yep.
Hope everyone again have a good rest of their have a good weekend and all. And I just want to preface, I am completely self-taught on editing, so please don't be too harsh.
No, you're good.
Oh no.
Same.
So don't go too far down on my channel. I learned editing from posting.
That's nuts.
Your editing is amazing. Please.
Yeah. Like some of the
You can't
intros
get
you do
simpler
is
than
nuts.
mine, so I have no room to throw stones.
Yours works really well though. Like with my editing, I think I learned actually in high school. There was an actual editing class. That's the only reason I know.
That sounds nice. I never got that, bro.
That sucks.
I learned to YouTube poop.
Yeah.
YouTube poops are amazing though.
Yes,
I'm just gonna only
YouTube
post
poop.
YouTube poops from now on.
Oh
Just go
hell
to
yeah!
Librarian's channel. Wows.
The great meme
Out of
reset.
nowhere, just YouTube poops.
I love that.